Hey, 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 good morning, good morning, good morning, peoples. How y'all doing today? Oh my goodness, it's the end of the week.
It's the best Friday ever.
Yeah. My goodness, my goodness. Well, we're going to have some fun today, boys and girls. I hope each and every one of you guys woke up on the right side of the bed today. Oh, my. It is a beautiful day here in Florida. Man, it looked like crap this morning. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. It was all hazy and nasty, and now old Mother Nature has decided to shine out there, and it is warming up. I hope all of you guys are looking into spring right now. I hope things are not as cold as what they have been over the past few months, and I hope you really start warming up for all you people up there in the Antarctic. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Let's say some good mornings to all these fine people. We got Mr. Paul Vols in the house. Nancy, how you doing? Nanny, how you doing? Carrie, how you doing? Michael, how you doing, my man? How you doing? Oh, we got Mr. Jim, Mr. Al Walker. Woot woot. I think I seen Charlie a while ago. Good morning, Charlie. How you doing? Sharon's up in here. What you doing there, Miss Sharon? We do have Sleep Troll and Drama Llamas here. All welcome. Right on, right on, right on. Do we have Sleep Trolls? Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right, let's see who else. There's Mr. Jim again. Carrie, yeah. There's Charlie. Yeah. Oh, who else we got in here? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I watch so you don't have to. Good morning, young lady. Alan, good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning. Master Al Walker up in here, bright and early this morning. But yeah, we're going to be going over some pretty decent stuff this morning. Simba, good morning. Good morning. How you doing? How you doing? All right. Who else we got? Bradley, good morning. Good morning to Bradley. Mr. Darrell, yes, good morning. Good morning. All right. Terry's up in here. Oh, Sue is here. Good morning, Sue. How you doing? How you doing? All right. All right. All right. Oh, we got Jack Miles rolled in here with $1.99 super chat. What you got to say, my friend? He says, "Rocket, Coop, rocket." Well, we're going to give it a shot anyway. We're going to try. Uh, Sometimes we fail, sometimes we succeed. Hopefully, today will be a succeed moment. Oh, Tor Hill, good morning, young lady. How are you doing? Marta, good morning. Jenny, what's up, my girl? What's up? Caroline's in the house. Good morning. Colleen's in the house. Good morning, young lady. Good morning. All right. Who else is in here that I missed? I'm sure we'll have. Oh, Johnny, veteran. How you doing? How you doing? Good morning, young man. Good morning. Oh, Caroline, we already got. All right, let's keep scrolling a little bit. Oh, Laugh Navy, good morning, good morning. How you doing? How you doing? And for all you guys that are in different parts of the world, I usually say good morning because it's good morning for me. But if it's afternoon or evening, good afternoon to you or good evening to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad each and every one of you have decided to come and hang out with old Coop today. Oh, there's MS Coast Life. How you doing? Nine Pin Bowling. How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Miss Tammy, Mother Nature needs to take her meds. Yesterday we had snow. Today almost 65. Right? It's that time of the year where you never know what's going to happen. I knew growing up here in Florida, we never could trust the weathermen back then. You had better luck looking out your window to get your forecasts. Nowadays, things are a little more accurate nowadays. Technology has come a long way since I was a kid. So you don't have to really look out the window anymore. You can actually trust a lot of the forecasts now. But yeah. This is the time of year where you never know. It could be 80 degrees on the beach or 60 degrees. You never know. All righty. Who else we got in here? Holy, let's scrolly olio. I think that's all of my old ones. catch back up and see who came in since I've been saying good morning. And thank you again, Jack, for the $2 super chat, my brother. It means a lot to me. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend.
That keeps the old gears greased and the whole thing running. Sure does. All right, let's go on down. Colleen, we done said. Jeanette, good morning. How you doing, girly girl? Let's see. Bill, good morning, my friend. Good morning. How you doing? How you doing? Oh, who else we got in here? Let's see. Oh, there's Terry again. Good morning, Terry. And there's Jenny. Good morning, Jenny. Jen Thunder, how you doing, girly girl? How you doing? Oh, join the joiners. Good morning. How you doing today? How you doing? Mark, what's happening, Captain? Oh, good morning, Mr. Coop. My name is Mark, pronounced Mark. I got you. I got you. I got you, brother. All right. All right. Or Mac or Mark. I'd say, oh, it's Mac. M-A-C-K. Mac. All right. Mac. Mac. I got to edge that in my old brain. Mac, not Mark. Mac. All right. All right. We got you. We got you. Greg, how you doing? Greg Cumberland or Cumberland. I can't. Greg. We'll just call you Greg. And then we got Greg from Scotland right underneath you. Good morning, guys. Good morning. All right. Bugs Place is rolled up in. How you doing, Bugs Place? Terry Wee, how you doing? How you doing? All right. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Everybody's rolling on up in here. Wow, we got 122 of you fabulous souls, and we haven't even been going 10 minutes. That's absolutely wonderful. Wonderful. Jen Thunder, what's up, Nanny? Oh, she's talking to Nanny. All right, let's go. I'm on down here. Get caught up again. Harry, good morning, Harry. How you doing, my man? My man. How you doing? Oh, Mercedes. I know she's in here because Tammy said good morning. So good morning, Mercedes. Good morning. Yeah. Okie dokie dokie. James, how you doing? How you doing? Yes, it is Friday. It is the last day of the week.
It's the best Friday ever.
Oh, I've got some plans for this weekend. Let me tell you. I'm looking at possibly going and getting some insulation and insulating Mama's shop. I think I'm going to insulate the upstairs and then insulate the downstairs and then probably put some new countertops in. The countertops that I put in at the time I put them in, they were just quick, fast, and throwed together at the time. It was just 1/4-inch paneling I used for the tabletop. So as you can imagine, over time, that 1/4-inch paneling just warps. It just goes nutty. So I think I'm going to replace all of the paneling with some OBS, I think. The stuff that's got the white laminate on top of it. Yeah. Good morning, Kelly. How you doing? How you doing? Mary Dell, how you doing? How you doing? Oh, John Stuber come rolling in hot with a $10. What you got to say? Morning. Y'all be in Florida this time next week to see my grandkids. Hopefully be warm. Well, it's warm. It's definitely warm down here, John. I can tell you that. Matter of fact, I got to close the little window curtain beside me because the sun is starting to cook my arm. But yeah, it should be nice and warm next week. Let's go take a look. We'll see. What parts of Florida are you going? Northern, central, or southern? You don't have to get exact with where you're going. Just give us an idea. Northern, central, or southern. We'll see how it's going to play out weather-wise next week. Well, we're calling for some Monday 81, Tuesday 82, Wednesday 84, and Thursday 85. And the lowest it gets Monday 61, Tuesday 63. This is all at nighttime. All of these high temperatures will be anytime after noon. So, yeah, it'll be warm here for you, my friend. It will definitely be warm here for you. Oh, my. Oh, my. Colleen, Dan Davis, good morning, my man. How you doing? Back to cleaning house, he says. Oh, John Stuber. Oh, you're going to be in Central Florida. All right. That's awesome, man. So you're going to be not too far from me. Yep. You better be safe and sound, though. Orlando's not that far from crazy land. I'm telling you, the land of STDs and wild old people parties, and you need to be careful. Yeah. Good morning, Sarasota. How you doing, my friend? How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Holy cow. Everybody's rolling up in here. Oh, what you got to say, Al? Mr. Coop. Insulation. Interesting. Are you getting the rolled insulation or sprayed in? No, I'm gonna roll it. It's just Mama's shop. Okay. And she has no tree cover over her shop at all. My shop is covered with trees. So it doesn't get nearly as hot as hers, but hers has sun from the minute it comes up till the minute it goes down. So I'm just going to insulate it with some rolled insulation, and then probably the upstairs I'll probably wrap it with some Trivac or something, and then downstairs I'm planning on putting pallet wood up over the studs to cover the insulation. I think that'll look pretty cool. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm in the process of insulating also to seal up some leaks. I got you, my man. I got you. I'm mainly insulating because that shed gets very hot, very, very hot. And whether I want to put the printers out there or not, Pickle Tank, good morning. It still needs to be insulated, because if I don't put the printers out there, if I keep them in the house, I have to take everything out of the little bedroom and put out in the top of her shed. And I don't want to put it out there uninsulated because it's so damn hot that it's like an oven. It'll literally cook whatever we put out there and ruin it. So no matter what I decide to do, I've got to insulate that shop one way or another. Good morning, Kiko. How you doing, my friend? How you doing? Join the joiners. Good morning. Disney pays extra for better weather in Florida. Yeah, I guarantee if they can squeak another $100 bill out of you at Disney World, they dang sure will. They dang sure will. All right. I'm polite, but definitely not nice to flee troglodytes. Oh, well, just if they come in here and they're nice, just grit your teeth and be polite. Yeah. But if you catch them out on the open road, act any way you want to act. It has no bearing on me, Jack. You have at it if you meet them in person. Oh, Caroline, what you got to say? June, I hope to be in South Florida for a cruise for a week. Then in Orlando for the hubby and kids, able to go into Mouseland. Hubby dream comes true. Oh, is that going to be you guys' first time visiting Disney World? All right. That's awesome. That's awesome. I grew up going to Disneyland. Harry, what you got to say? I like the spray insulation because it's kind of like glue and holds things together. Well, Harry, I would spray it, but I don't know if you've ever done much insulating, but that shit's expensive. It's very expensive. So, no, I won't be doing spray insulation. Modest Claw, how you doing? Coop, make sure you have an exhaust fan. Oh, yeah. I'm planning on putting a solar-powered attic fan in the top of the shop. That way, when it gets to a certain degrees in there, it'll pull air from the outside in and pull the hot air out. I'm going to do solar. That way, I don't have to worry about wiring it with electric, and it'll work regardless. I don't have to worry about turning it on or off. It'll come on when it needs to. It'll go off when it needs to. Johnny D, good morning. Good morning. How you doing? How you doing, my friend? Carol, you're not late, Carol. If you show up, you're right on time. All right. There's Miss Nancy, Tree God, Mr. Coop in the Keys. We built post frame over shed. Oh, we built what? Post frame over shed topper. Yeah, I thought about that. I thought about putting a pole barn roof over the top of it. And I don't know. I think I'm just going to insulate it because I'm going to wind up running the air conditioner in there anyway. So it's still got to be insulated. The good thing is my shed, Mama's shop, is not made out of metal. It's made out of wood. So even though it's made out of wood, it still gets very hot in there. And like a dodo, when I ordered that shed, I didn't order it with windows. So I think I'm going to put a couple of windows in it before I insulate it. That way I've got some way to draw the heat out of there with the attic fan that I'm going to install. Yeah. Crack the windows. Hey, what you got to say, Carol? I'm late, but good morning. Well, good morning, young lady. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you, John, for the $2 super chat for Orlando. And thank you, Jack Miles, for the $5. And thank you, John Stuber, for the $10. And Jack Miles again with the $2. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. All right. So, how's everybody's day going? Man, this week has been jam-packed with all kinds of goodies. We actually got a motion that Fleesa decided to file. I'm not even going to bother with it. It's going to be just like anything that Paint Chips or Bubbles or any of them other morons file. It's all just a bunch of garbage trying to influence the judge without going to court. Why she filed it, I have no idea. Just to be a nuisance, I guess. But she did. I'm not going to bother reading it. It's just a bunch of transcripts from Jeremy's videos, which in all actuality, I think will end up hurting her worse than if she hadn't have done it. Because even though the things Jeremy said in those transcripts, they ain't none of it illegal, immoral, or any other kind of whatever you want to call it. He has every right to feel the way he does. These chuckleheads have done nothing but try and ruin the man's business from the jump. So I got a feeling that these transcripts, I read a little bit of the stuff she filed. Like I said, it's garbage. It's complete and utter garbage. Just like the shit that Paint Chips has filed. The only thing that they have succeeded in is not by the motions they filed, by the fact that they've clogged up the court with a bunch of useless information. It pissed the judge off. Now the judge talking about wanting to dismiss the case. That's my opinion. And I'm sticking to it. Yeah. All right. Bridget, good morning. Girl, how you doing? Girly girl? Good morning. DR's in the house. Good morning. Everybody's rolling in. We're pushing. We're right there fixing to bend that 200 mark. Oh, we're at 196 right now. Let's go see what it says over here on the screw tube side. Well, yeah, 196 right there. People are starting to mosey on in. Yes, they are. Let's go see what the live chat has to say. Oh, did you guys notice the other night? Mama was doing a live stream. I think it was Wednesday. Did you guys notice that the chat wasn't coming through on YouTube? The only thing they could put up was just emojis. They couldn't talk or type anything. That was weird. YouTube's been going through some funky stages here this whole week. I know last night I woke up, or I didn't wake up. Oh, along about 9 o'clock, I was in my my YouTube studio, and I'd lost about 30 freaking subscribers. And then I wake up this morning, and they're all back. So it's something with YouTube. They're playing with something in YouTube. So guys, you need to make sure that you've got the bell rung for all notifications. I know you're all subscribed, that the people that are in the chat, because you wouldn't be in the chat if you weren't subscribed. But make sure that all notifications are checked. So that way you get notified every day when we go live at 11 o'clock, Monday through Friday. Big Dirt! You're wrong, Coop. Lisa has great legal mind. She could sit for the bar tomorrow if she wanted, you know. Oh, if you guys don't know Big Dirt Notification, he is Lisa's biggest fan. You got Miyagi. She's a sweetheart. She's married to old Jade, the pearman. Okay. But then you got old Big Dirt here, which happens to be Miyagi's side meat. And then you turn around, and then Lisa's got Dirt as her side meat as well. So he's like spread around the whole interwebs. He's making himself known everywhere to these females. So be careful, all you young ladies out there in the cyber world. Big Nerd Notification is coming for you. All right, Scottish Granny, what you got to say? I noticed it was my birthday on Wednesday, and my chat wasn't going through on a few channels. Wow, it was hurt. Oh, you know what that means.
Happy birthday to you, you're older. Woo-hoo. You might need more candles than your cake can handle. Let's say happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Scottish Granny. Happy birthday. All right, let's get scrolled up here. There's Linda in the house. Good morning, Linda. How you doing? How you doing? Miss Tammy Paint Chips thinks this bankruptcy gonna go after Jeremy Hills instead. Yeah, he can keep thinking whatever that twisted-minded little fool wants to think, Tammy. They're not going after Jeremy Hills. I can guarantee it. That's just a pipe dream. That's him with his same old dribble that he dribbles all the time. It's just a bunch of crap. Don't even listen to that stuff. Buffed old man, good morning. Yep, Lisa could sit for a bar exam. She is good at sitting. Right. That's a good one. Good morning, Robin. How you doing? Wrong. Lisa has no mind. You guys all got jokes today. You got jokes today. Let me tell you. I love it. MrCoop, Lisa is just J hip lover. Yeah, they love all of us. They complain about all of us. But yet if it weren't for all of us, they would have nothing, absolutely nothing to talk about. She makes 6 days. Uh-oh, somebody's ring-a-ding-ding-a-ling-ing us. Who is it? Who could it be? Oh, let's go. Oh, somebody wanting to sell me car insurance or warranty or some shit like that. All right, goodbye, Emma. See ya. Oh, St. Patty's, good morning. Hello, how you doing? Welcome. Tor Hill's in the house saying good morning. Hey, there's John. Good morning, John. How you doing, my friend? How you doing? Linda, good morning. Yeah, all you fine people rolling up in here. It's awesome. Sure is. Yes, it is. Bad Fox, good morning. How you doing? But yeah, this week has been a treasure trove of all kinds of good stuff and a lot of not so good stuff. I see John. I didn't get to read them the other day. I'll probably touch on them next week. The motion that John filed and the judge denied. I'll probably look at that Monday or Tuesday. Today, what we have planned is we will be looking at the motion that Randy filed to have the judge removed. I think that's got some pretty interesting information in it. Yes. Diana, good morning. Well, be listening while I was with putting car seat covers on my granddaughter's first car. Oh, all right. Cool beans. Tea in the morning. Good old tea. Speaking of car covers, seat covers, I need to get a new set for Mama's car. I really do. We bought her car brand new. What was it? 2015. That car's now what, about 11 years old in April. So she needs a new set of car covers or seat covers. Yes, she does. So I'll probably be looking for her a new set this weekend. She deserves them. She deserves them. Because if you guys ever notice, the driver's side is always the seat cover that wears out first. And when that one wears out, you got to replace it because you got to keep those seats nice and clean just in case you want to sell the car. Anyway, I like them. I like them a lot. Oh, Jack, what you got to say? Crook begged to be removed during the active stay in Fed 1. Judge said, do not sit down. Right on, Jack. He sure did. He sure did. To be honest with you, this is where I think the judge is showing biased. Another example, because if you guys remember, Belitio said, look, this is on a stay. Do not be filing any more nonsense. And John just does not listen. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he filed another motion. I don't know if it was in Fed 1 or Fed 2, but John ended up filing 2, I do believe. But yeah, it's I don't see how this judge isn't. He can sanction Randy, but he can't sanction anybody else. People that are blatantly disobeying his orders, and he's letting them skate by. If you guys notice, when Chucklehead Cook filed wanting to be taken off of the case, Randy didn't come back and respond with anything. Randy has been listening to the judge this whole time. All right. But it seems like if Randy answers or Randy files something, the judge wants to sanction him. But yet when any of these chuckleheads file something, they just get a free pass. I sincerely hope with the motion that we read today that we find out a lot of good stuff. And I really hope, if anything, if they do dismiss Fed 2, all right, if anything, I hope that Hinkle sanctions the shit out of Bubbles for Fed 1. Because I do believe there's parts of this motion that refer to that. Oh, Tree God, what you got to say? I average 178,000 miles a year driving Uber up here on the coast. I think my resale value is in the basement. Right. Well, Mama's is too. Her car is almost 11 years since we bought it. It was new. She's got just under 170,000 miles. The car still looks really good for its age. It's just, I don't think that she's going to get much out of it for resale. It's an absolutely wonderful car. It drives. It's not giving us any problems. It's been an amazing vehicle we've had for a very long time. It's the old Soul, the Kia Soul. I love that little car. It drives nice. It's comfortable. As tall as I am, I can fit in it reasonably. I'm not scrunched up. I really like it. I like it a lot. Oh, Carrie Hinkle seems sharp and no nonsense judge. I hope that he reads Randy's motion and sees Belito's errors in what he's doing. Like I said, guys, at the end of the day, I have no skin in the game. All right. I'm just reading this stuff. Do I want Jeremy to see justice? Yes, I do. I think he's been, treated like shit for a very long time out of these people. He didn't ask for this. They brought it on to him. So they're trying to push the narrative of the big bad YouTuber bullshit. And that's all garbage. It's all garbage. he's not stalking anybody for content. I would assume that Jeremy and George would just assume not have wanted to dish out $500,000 on this stuff. I don't know of anybody that wants to dish out this kind of money. But I find it awful funny that they never want to think about the past. They never want to think about what has brought everyone to this particular moment in time. They want to just sweep it all under the rug. Okay, we told Lynette and Crook no. So what'd they do? They started defaming us. They started trying to interfere with our business. Then they recruited chuckleheads on the internet to help them ruin their business. I mean, these people are all garbage. The collateral damage that's incurred over all of this is unbelievable. I mean, think about it. You got Travis out here, right? He's out here trying to do his own thing, be his own channel, and they're trying to guilt by association with Travis because Travis is got Tubetown on Jeremy's property. Okay, he's just as guilty in their minds as Jeremy. And then, of course, we got Lynette pulling her same garbage. You know, she's all over the interwebs, and now she's literally calling people and making accusations. Well, it's just a sad day. Yeah, for all of them. But like I was saying, I've got no skin in the game on this. I'm just a fan. Do I want Jeremy to succeed in his lawsuits? Yes, I do, because the man has been wronged. All right. Any normal person out there that has been treated like Jeremy has been treated would want the same kind of justice. Even Fleesa would want the same kind of justice. Okay, if it was done to her. But yet they seem to think that they wanted to deny Jeremy any justice. It's kind of crazy. What you got to say, Carol? It's my son's birthday today. Oh, y'all know what that means. Hang on to your hats, boys and girls.
Happy birthday to you. You're older. Woo-hoo. You might need more candles than your cake can handle. Let's say happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. Tell your son happy birthday, Carol. I wish him many, many, many more. Let's go fix this one while I'm here. And we just radius that about that much. All right. And then we go right back to here and right back to the chat. All right. Happy birthday, Carol's son. I hope you have many, 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 many more. Shirley, what you got to say? Wow, YouTube being a-hoes this morning. Bring up your stream was like trying to break into Fort Knox. Good morning, Shirley. Yeah, something is going on with YouTube here lately. I know Susie, one of my mods, she's been having a really rough time getting logged in on her. She can log in as a guest, but she can't log in on her account. And it's really frustrating her. Yes, it is. And by the way, boys and girls, if I have missed anyone saying good morning this morning, I apologize. And just know that I wish each and every one of you a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may hail from. Yes, I do. All right, we're about a half hour into this puppy. You guys ready to look at some documents? I think we ready to look at some documents. Yeah. I'm gonna pull this stuff up real quick, and I think we're going to dive right into this because this is like 80 pages, but I think it's only like 30 pages long. So bear with me just a moment, boys and girls. Because we're going to let the old Google girl do her business today. Yes, I think we are. Kabam. Now, this should be geared up to where you guys can hear it. Bunsen, YouTube homepage is down again. Had to direct search for your stream. See, it's all kinds of funky here lately, boys and girls. I don't know if they're fixing to release a bunch of new updates or what they're doing, but for some people, it's been a nightmare here lately. Oh, here we go. Don, good morning. Are you sick, Mr. Coop? No, I feel fantastic. I'm just a little blah today. I mean, I absolutely feel perfect. I'm not sick in any way today. I'm just moving around a little different. I'm just a little antsy in my chair. I might sound a little different, but I'm cool. I'm okay. Oh, Carol, what you got to say, Coop? Thank you so much. I'm pulling it up on his phone because he wants to hear it again. Thank you so much. I'm putting it up on his phone because he wants to hear it again. Well, I'll just play it again. I don't mind. Here we go.
Happy birthday to you. You're older. Woo-hoo. You might need more candles than your cake can handle. Let's say happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Carol, son. Happy birthday. I hope he enjoys that. Now you can pull it up and let him listen to it twice. Good morning, Kelly. How you doing? Me and hubby will celebrate 29 years tomorrow. 2 kids, 2 grandkids, and 1 on the way, enjoying life. Wow, that's absolutely beautiful, Kelly. Beautiful, beautiful. You have fun. You guys celebrate everything that's coming your way. That's absolutely awesome. A new baby on the way. You know, it's fantastic when new ones are expected. You know, bright, new, shiny babies come into the world, and to grow up and be molded into fine young peoples. There's nothing better to look forward to the future coming for a child. Yes, yes, yes. Congratulations on your 29 years, your 2 kids, your 2 grandkids, and your 1 on the way. All right. And Don says, good morning. And then she says, glad to hear, Mr. Coop. Do I sound funny or something, Don? Is my microphone not playing right? Or is it something that's, oh, it's on voice mod right there. Is it, do I sound different or something this morning? About the only thing different this morning than usual is, yeah, I'm all on the right settings and everything. The only thing different this morning than usual is I actually ate breakfast this morning. I usually don't. Mama and I usually eat dinner together at about between 3 and 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So I usually don't eat anything before I go live. Today I did. It could be why I'm drinking so much tea this morning. Yeah, that could be. All right, let's get caught up again. Don, we got 26 inches of snow on Monday. Been shoveling and plowing out since. Oh, wow. I was hoping spring would be showing up for a lot of you guys up north. I remember all that snow stuff. I didn't particularly care for it. Coop, do you, like others, even get tired of all the crap? Well, Robin, to be honest with you, one of my funnest things in life is watching stupidity unfold before my eyes. Okay, so it never gets too old watching stupidity. It does get old when it's the same stupidity day in and day out, but I always try and look for something new to laugh at. So yeah, some of it gets old, some of it doesn't. For the most part, I'm entertained with the ignorance from that side of the fence. It keeps me going, because just when you think everything is time to just blow it off, it's all just the same crap day in and day out, they do something new that's even stupider than the day before. And I have to laugh about it. Some people out there don't like it. And hey, that's their choice. Okay. If they don't like what's going on, don't watch. Why worry about other people's channels? Worry about your own. Okay. Lisa is so worried about everybody else and what everybody else is doing. She needs to just focus on herself. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, sometimes it gets a little bit monotonous. But then, like I said, there's so many of those chuckleheads over there that if you get bored with one, you can always leave them for a little while. Go watch somebody else. Because to be honest, I haven't watched one of Lisa's streams in, shoo, oh man, since the judge's recommendation came out. I haven't watched a stream at all because I knew when that recommendation came out, I knew exactly where she was going with it. Why even bother? She thinks that all of us have no content without her. Well, hey, I talk about her a little bit here and there throughout the week, but here lately, I haven't even bothered watching her garbage. There's too many other stupid people out there. And I've been doing a lot of reading on these new motions that came out. So that keeps me entertained. I love reading this stuff because I'm not very educated in the law aspect. And when I run across something that draws my interest, I like to read as much as I can on it. And if I don't understand it, I ask people that are smarter than me to help me understand. And I have a treasure trove of people out there that have tremendous knowledge when it comes to this stuff. And no, none of them's name is Lisa Lee. But I hope I answered your question there, girly girl. All right, let's get back to it. All right. Coop and I have anniversary coming up in a couple of months. Mama Coop says, hey, babe, how you doing, sweetheart? How you doing? But if you can tell, I'm a little behind on my chat here, guys. So I'm catching up now. I just had to answer Robin. My wife, what you got to say? Your show reminds me to make breakfast. Okay, all right. That's a good one. Oh, let's see. I'm gonna just go ahead and skip on up and scroll on up and get on up here to the top. See what's going on. Okay, personally, I think before this is over, Felisa won't have a channel left as people see her deflection and grifting. I would agree with you 100%. I mean, think about it. All the people, all the big donors that she had, she started off on this hate campaign in August of 2024. And think about this for a second. From August of 2024 till January 1st of 2025, she made the most money in the shortest amount of time in her entire life. Okay. She pocketed not thousands of dollars, but tens of thousands of dollars. Okay. And like an idiot, she turned around and ran off all the people that were giving her them big bucks. I don't see the logic behind that. It's not like they were asking her to pull teeth. They just asked for a little transparency. That's all they asked for. And to treat people that's giving you tens of thousands of dollars like a pariah, block them, and just basically push them out of your life does not make sense to me. That's like McDonald's telling the customer coming in and ordering, no, we don't want your business. Get the hell out. It makes no sense to me. And then again, she wants to turn around and play her little wild card that all of us on this side of the fence are hurting her business. It would be so interesting to see that chucklehead literally sue somebody and try and claim that she's losing money because of this whole situation. Because this whole situation, it is her money. This is how she's making money. If it weren't for this situation that she interjected herself into, she would not be making anything at all, except she'd be back there selling her little peen rocks. Anyway, she did a smash and grab. I don't know who you're talking about, Tammy, but well, good morning, Tammy. How you doing? Oh, St. Patty, Nanny. Okay, you talking to Nanny. All right. I think I'm going to get this thing going because I think it's about 30 pages we're going to be going through here. So I'm pretty sure it's 30 pages. Let me scroll on down here and check this out for a minute. Oh, 31. No, this is more than 30 pages. Oh, maybe the 30 pages was the one where Randy filed his appeal, or not appeal, but his motion to the judge Hinkle. Maybe that was it. Was 30 pages. This one, I don't think this one's a full 80 pages. I'm not positive, but we're going to get through as much of it as we can. Yeah, it's like 30 pages because this is all transcripts. Yeah, this is all transcripts here. So yeah, I'd say it's probably 30-ish pages long. Yeah, 34 pages. And then it gets into this. This is transcripts. Show cause hearing before Honorable Zach Blethio. And this is, I believe, the transcripts. Oh, when Jeremy was being deposed, I believe, by, yeah, I think it was when Jeremy was being deposed by Bubbles. Which that's cool to know that's in there because we can always look at that later. Yeah, it's about 33 pages. So we're going to dive into this. We'll stop pretty much at the end of each page and discuss it as we go along. This is the first page. Let's see. Plaintiff and there we go. I don't want to start with all this junk up here because it's all the same stuff. All right. You guys ready? You ready for this? You ready? Fleeca yells at absolutely everyone. Exactly, Carrie. Exactly. So let's dive right into this, my friends. Let's first, because of this motion, the judge removal, all Fed cases are now on hold. Second, JH posted that he believes Bubbles is still working behind the scenes on federal motions. I wouldn't doubt it one bit, Al. I wouldn't doubt it, my friend. All right, let's dive right into this and see what we got going. Oh, trust me, he knows, Harry. I don't know what Mama's talking about. What's Harry say? Tell him you want to go out for dinner for anniversary. Oh, we're going to go out. I guarantee that, Harry. I guarantee that. All right, boys and girls, let's get on with the show.
Plaintiffs, motion to disqualify magistrate judge. Zachary Bolitha, plaintiffs, Elephant Shoe, LLC et al. By and through undersigned counsel, pursuant to...
All right, I'm going to pause that right there. You guys tell me you hear it. I'll just wait until somebody pops up, whether they've heard it or not. Yes, Mama, we will be married 21 years in May. Been together for 22 years. Well, we've been together for over 21 now. We'll be married for 21. Yeah. The breaking tube just kicked me. All right. As soon as I see the very first comment says that you guys hear it, I'll just hit play and we'll get on with the show. Oh, we've been together for 22 years, Mama says. Jen Thunder, I'm lurking. Yes, okay. Let's get on with the show, my friends.
Plaintiffs, motion to disqualify magistrate judge. Zachary Bolitha, plaintiffs, Elephant Shoe, LLC et al. By and through undersigned counsel, pursuant to 28 U.S.C. Section 455, A, move to disqualify United States Magistrate Judge Zachary C. Bolitha, hereinafter, Judge Bolitha, from further proceedings in this matter on the grounds that his impartiality might reasonably be questioned due to a deep-seated and pervasive antagonism toward the case and counsel which makes fair judgment impossible and reflects judicial bias. A. Introduction and background. Case 125 CV00058 RHZ-CB Document 166 filed February 24, 26 page 1 of 34. 1. Plaintiff, Jeremy Hales, owner and principal of Elephant Shoe, LLC and hereinafter referred to as Hales, is the plaintiff in 2 cases presently pending before Judge Bolitha. The instant case, 125 CV 58, Hales 2, and 124 CV 45, Hales I. This motion is being filed in both cases, which require continued judicial labor. 2. Hales seeks disqualification of Judge Bolitha from both cases pursuant to 28 U.S.C.S. Section 455, A, based on language utilized in his report and recommendations, hereinafter, report, filed on February 10, 2026, Doc 161, in Hales 2, which, when considered with certain other filings, statements, and actions by Judge Bolitha in Hales I, demonstrate a deep-seated antagonism toward Hales cases and Hales counsel that carried over into Hales 2, making fair judgment impossible. 3. There are 10 defendants in Hales 2, 2 of whom, Preston and Cook, are the only defendants in Hales I. Hales I has been stayed since August 2025 due to defendant Preston's bankruptcy action, and Hales 2 is likewise stayed as to her only. 4. Hales is represented by attorney Randall Shockett, Esq. in both cases. 5. Preston was represented by attorney Bruce Matskin in Hales I from September 5, 2024, when he was afforded pro hac vice status, until April 14, 2025 when his motion to withdraw was granted. Doc 133. Matskin is also a named defendant in Hales 2. 6. Prior to Matskin's involvement in Hales I, there were only 15 docket entries during the 6 months in which the case had been pending and no threats of sanctioning counsel had ever issued from the court. Within a mere 3 months of Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26, page 2 of 34. Matskin's involvement. The docket entries increased almost threefold and sanction warnings began issuing from Judge Bolitha. 7. The transcript of the April 3, 2025 show cause hearing in Hales I, Exhibit 11, reveals Judge Bolitha's overwhelming frustration with the case because of the number of filings and increased workload for his staff. The court's exasperation was not limited to counsel's tone or a discrete filing, but encompassed the case as a whole and the court's desire to be done with it. 8. Approximately 10 months after the April 3 hearing, the report in Hales 2 issued dismissing all claims against 8 out of 10 defendants, including Matskin, with prejudice. B. Relevant procedural history in Hales I. 9. After attorney Matskin was confronted with Hales' motion for sanctions and request to revoke his pro hac vice status in Hales I for his highly unprofessional and unethical conduct, Doc 96, as well as an order to show cause, Doc 98, and an order to appear in Florida to explain himself, Doc 118, Matskin filed a motion to withdraw as Preston's counsel. Judge Bolitha granted it in mid-April, reserving jurisdiction to impose sanctions on him for misconduct. Doc 133. One line and page cites to quotations are provided in the Memorandum of Law incorporated herein and following the motion. Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26, page 3 of 34.
Man, oh man. Randy got right to it, right? I mean, we're not even 4 pages in. We're going into the 4th page and Randy's already right to the point, right to the point. I was wondering if he was going to cover this in this motion with the sanctions and everything that still haven't been taken care of on Bubble's end. Because guys, if you remember, Randy got nailed for 2 motions, $2,000 for each motion, which totaled $4K. Bubbles, on the other hand, he was looking to up to close to $20,000 in motions he was going to be fined with. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And I still can't understand why the courts have not done anything about this. Maybe you guys in the chat can explain why it's still not been taken care of. I don't. I can't see Randy just sitting back and taking, okay, you took 4,000 from me and you let this piece of crap that started all of this go scot-free. I can't see that happening. And I see a lot of that right here. Randy, right out of the gate, is telling Hinkle, hey, Belethio, he's got some answers he needs to come up with. Coop, this is written by Doreen. She can be spicy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I like the stuff that Doreen writes. She does some good stuff. Good work. Good work. All right, let's go.
10. In Hale's eye, a live hearing on Hale's motion for sanctions and the show cause order was scheduled to occur in Pensacola on April 3, 2025. Doc 98, 11. After Matskin filed a response indicating he did not intend to appear because, inter alia, he feared being arrested. Doc 124, as well as 4 separate motions seeking the same relief, attorney's fees, Judge Bolitha issued an order on March 27, 2025 striking the 4 motions as cumulative, confirming the live hearing would go forward and requiring both attorneys to bring their checkbooks. Doc 118. The order stated, the court is tired of both attorneys in this case clogging the docket with unnecessary, duplicative, and meritless filings. The quantity of judicial resources that have been consumed by this case is ridiculous. Doc 118, page 1. Instead, the attorneys in this case have taken advantage of the court's patience and abused the judicial process. No more. Doc.
Okay, now this is something that I don't understand, guys. The 2 motions that Randy got sanctioned for were responses to Bubbles' motions. Okay, what is Belethio saying? That Randy didn't have the right to respond to the motions that Bubbles put in? That's what I've always questioned about this. They sit there and they talk about how Randy filed frivolous motions. How is it frivolous when he's responding to the motions that were sent in? I don't get that part of it. I can understand the judge's aggravation with Manskin filing a bunch of garbage that didn't need to be filed, but every time they file a garbage, Randy has to respond. That's his job. I can't understand how Randy was the only one sanctioned. But hey, that's just my thoughts on it. All right.
The quantity of judicial resources that have been consumed by this case is ridiculous. Doc 118, page 1. Instead, the attorneys in this case have taken advantage of the court's patience and abused the judicial process. No more. Doc 118, page 2, 12. Attorney Matskin failed to appear at the April 3 hearing. Attorney Shockett appeared and brought his checkbook as required. 13. During the 48-minute hearing in Hale's eye, Judge Bolitha admonished Shockett over 35 times. Exhibit 1, Passum, most of it related to his overwhelming frustration and exasperation with the large number of docket entries for which he largely blamed Shockett, more so because Shockett was present and Matskin was not. Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26 page 4 of 34.
I wonder if Hinkle even knows anything about this so-called sanctions hearing. Maybe this is something that Belethos want to try. He's wanted to try and rake up, just push under the rug. What do you guys think? I still see how Hinkle can allow this to go on for this long without Bubbles being sanctioned. Huh. Okay. All righty, let's rock it.
14. The March 27, 25 order specified 2 entries that were filed by Shockett, Docs 85 and 86. Motions to dismiss each of the 2 defendants' counterclaims to be addressed on Hale's side of the case. Shockett explained that he believed, albeit perhaps mistakenly, that the counterclaims appeared to include him as a party to the case and there was no jurisdictional statement or statement of interested parties to clarify otherwise. Judge Bolitha, nonetheless, repeatedly asked Shockett why he filed those motions after Shockett already explained himself more than once. 15. Judge Bolitha also interrogated Shockett about his filing a motion for summary judgment early in the case, although that motion was not specifically noticed for consideration. He stated he struck it without ruling because he did not want to see successive motions for summary judgment. Meanwhile, the judge ruled on. Defendants even earlier filed motion for summary judgment and gave them permission to file another one later down the road. Judge Bolitha also criticized Shockett for filing an amended complaint to sue opposing counsel in the middle of Hales' eye, stating there was no purpose to do that other than to stir the pot and instigate conflict. That pleading was also not specifically noticed for discussion at the hearing. 16. Judge Bolitha called the case a nightmare, a disaster, and a burden on his staff. He remarked that he knows plaintiff's case number by heart because he has to type orders in that case all the time, and he was done with the case. Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26, page 5 of 34.
Now, we're on page 5 of this, guys. Just page 5. And this right here, if I was Hinkle, I'd be looking at denying the magistrate Bolithio's recommendation. I mean, Randy's absolutely shown bias here. Absolutely. These are all words that have been taken out of court transcripts. None of this is a lie. This all happened. Every bit of this. If Hinkle rules to dismiss this with prejudice, I got a feeling this will be perfect case for appeal. I think. Oh yeah. Yeah, let's go.
And done with his law clerk spending most of his days researching and writing and trying to keep up with the docket in the case. He compared dealing with the attorneys to talking to his children. 17. Judge Bolitha stated that plaintiff's counsel was not entitled to monopolize a federal judge's time, and that counsel bore responsibility for the burden on the court. He also stated that he had been way too patient, and that the docket ballooned because he had given the parties too much leeway. 18. Judge Bolitha commented he had never seen anything like this case in his 2 years on the bench and had before never imposed Rule 11 sanctions on attorneys. 19. Judge Bolitha imposed $4,000 in Rule 11 sanctions personally against attorney Shockett for documents 85 and 86. The judge stated he would issue a separate order regarding sanctions against attorney Matskin for his unprofessional conduct and for failing to appear. To this day, no such order has been entered. 20. It is noteworthy that shortly after the show cause sanctions hearing in Hales' eye, Judge Bolitha ruled on Preston and Cook's request for appointment of counsel in Hales 2, Doc 30, Hales 2. Judge Bolitha had previously denied their similar request in Hales' eye on April 4, 2024, almost exactly 1 year earlier, stating, defendants present no exceptional circumstances that warrant the appointment of counsel at this time, Doc 30, page 2. By April 21, 2025, Judge Bolitha stated, Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26, page 6 of 34.
This is where Randy's getting into the part where Bolithio was literally actively looking for a lawyer for these boneheads and offering judicial funds to help pay for some of it. Oh, wow. This is getting interesting.
Based on the unique circumstances of this case and the court's familiarity gained from presiding over a related case, with the facts and issues involved, the court believes it appropriate to request representation for defendants Cook and Preston. Doc 30, Hales 2. The order noted that limited funds may be available from the district's bench and bar funds for out-of-pocket expenses, Doc 30, page 3, Hales 2. 21. By April 21, 2025, Attorney Shockett had paid the court-ordered $4,000 sanction to the court registry. 22. 10 months later, Judge Bolitha issued his report and recommendations in Hales 2, dismissing Hales' claims against 8 of the 10 defendants with prejudice. 23. Substantive objections to the report were already filed and not addressed herein. C. The report and recommendations in Hales 2. 24. The language chosen by Judge Bolitha in the report combined with his prior remarks and orders in Hales I demonstrates a high degree of antagonism which appears to have carried over from Hales I. The language would lead the average person, fully informed of the facts of both cases, to reasonably question Judge Bolitha's impartiality. 25. The pejorative language in the report includes characterizing Hale's second amended complaint as a sprawling 74-page document alleging a sprawling conspiracy that borders on a shotgun pleading, specifically noting that counsel. Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB document 166 filed February 24, 26 page 7 of 34.
Rickles, I believe you 100%, my friend. Yes, I do. I do. I agree with you. He does not have to prove bias, only the appearance of bias that any reasonable person would suspect based on the facts. The appearance is enough for recusal. Exactly. Exactly. Just reading, what are we on, page 7? Yeah, we've seen all of this. We've seen every bit of this. Everything Randy has put in here, we've all seen this unfold right before our eyes. And it's got a lot of us questioning what's going on. I mean, think about it. He nailed Randy for 4K, okay? He's let this go on all this time. He's cost Jeremy Hales hundreds of thousands of dollars. But yet all the chuckleheads, none of them are out of pocket with anything. Nothing. What, a few dollars here and there for motions they filed? None of them have gotten lawyers. Well, 2 of them have gotten lawyers. That would be MLS and Manskin. Those are the only 2 I know of that's gotten any lawyers. Whether they paid retainers to these lawyers, I don't have any idea. MLS, I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to try and say I know anything about him whatsoever because I don't. Manskin, on the other hand, we all know for a fact that he has shopped all over Florida and other states looking for people to represent Lynette and Crook. And I could imagine when it came time for him to get a lawyer, he probably did the same thing. He shopped around till he found one that, in my opinion, he could possibly control. I do know of 2 documents that were filed. One I know was filed by his lawyer because it didn't read anything like Bubbles had his fingers in it at all. The second one filed by his lawyer, it read just like Bubbles did it. Whether Bubbles did it or not, I don't know, but it read like Bubbles did it. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. All right, let's get caught up again. Okay, there we go. There we go. Oh, isn't it pronounced Belithio? Yeah, it's pronounced Belithio. But Mrs. Google, she's got her own interpretation of it. Oh, what happened there? Hit the wrong button. All right. Let's get on with the show.
Had previously been instructed to familiarize himself with 11th Circuit precedent on shotgun pleadings. Meanwhile, Judge Bolitha himself created a chart on page 4 of the report, which, by definition, belies Hale's complaint being a shotgun pleading. Judge Bolitha's only actual grievance on this issue, however, involved the count against Defendant Lee under the Lanham Act, which he stated was, arguably, a shotgun pleading. 26. The report also references an unrelated case filed by Hales against a Florida state prosecutor to which Judge Bolitha was not assigned, noting it was dismissed by Judge Windsor for failure to state a claim. Although that order has been appealed, which was not mentioned by Judge Bolitha, his clear implication was that Hales and/or Attorney Shockett do not file meritorious claims across the board. 27. 4 times in the report in the context of criticism, Judge Bolitha noted that plaintiffs were represented by counsel. Doc 161, pp. 17, twice, 42, and 43. 28. The report further stated that plaintiffs had not moved for leave to amend in the manner required by Rule 15a(2), although their response in opposition requested an opportunity to amend to address any perceived defect. The recommendation to dismiss all claims in a second amended complaint against 8 defendants with prejudice without affording plaintiff at least a final opportunity to amend was discretionary, not mandatory, and particularly harsh given that the deficiencies identified relate primarily to pleading standards, vague, conclusory, arguably. Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26, page 8 of 34.
All right, guys, I just thought about that. While we're going through this motion, I'm going to turn the commercials. I'm going to turn the ads off for you guys. Okay. Because I know how frustrating that can be. I forget about it all the time, but I'm going to turn them off for you guys while we're reading this whole thing. I think I can suspend it. Delay ads. All right. That should do it right there. All righty. Let's get back up here and we will bring it back up. Bam. All right. All right.
Shotgun, rather than substantive legal bars to relief. It demonstrates continued focus on counsel's performance rather than objective assessment of the claims. 29. Stating that plaintiffs failed to properly move for leave to amend because they made the request in opposition responses, not by separate motion, reflects an unduly strict interpretation that appears designed to foreclose any possibility of amendment and indeed, brought to fruition Judge Bolitha's previous expressions of being done with the case 2.D grounds 30. The pejorative language in the Hales 2 report echoes the overly critical tone and extreme frustration expressed by Judge Bolitha in his various orders in Hales I, as well his verbal remarks during the April 3 show cause hearing. The report reflects Judge Bolitha's deep-seated antagonism toward Hales' case in general and his counsel in particular, which began in Hales I and has carried over into Hales 2. This high level of antagonism has created the appearance of bias, making fair judgment impossible. Two plaintiffs are also well aware that some of the dismissed defendants continually and inappropriately copied the court, not to mention President Trump, on emails purportedly about the case containing inappropriate language despite requests from plaintiffs' counsel to stop. Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26, page 9 of 34. 31. Furthermore, when reviewed in conjunction with Hales I, the record reflects disparate and even retaliatory treatment by Judge Bolitha that would cast significant doubt on his impartiality. 32. The bias demonstrated in the report when viewed in conjunction with Judge Bolitha's numerous antagonistic remarks from the bench and in his orders in Hales I, along with other conduct suggestive of antagonism toward Hales' side and partiality toward defendant's side, requires reassignment of both cases to another magistrate judge. D. Legal Standard 33. Federal law requires that any magistrate judge of the United States shall disqualify himself in any proceeding in which his impartiality might reasonably be questioned. 28 U.S.C.S. Section 455, A. 34. The standard for disqualification under Section 455, A, is objective such that a reasonable person with knowledge of all the facts would conclude that the judge's impartiality might reasonably be questioned. United States v. Bailey, 175 F. 3D 966, 11th CIR 1999. 35. Recusal decisions under Section 455, A, are extremely fact-driven, and must be judged based on their unique facts and circumstances rather than by strict comparison to prior cases. United States v. Curtin, 78 F. 4th 1299, 11th CIR 2023. Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26, page 10 of 34.
All right. I will tell you right now, reading this I really enjoy reading along with this because this is straightforward. There's not a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo in it. You know, there's not a lot of case law being thrown in there to distract. It is direct and to the point. Any normal person, any layman reading this could understand what's going on. I love this. This is absolutely awesome. I know Tug and Megan read it the other night, I didn't get a chance to watch their whole show. I watched a lot of it, but not all of it. And man, this is the kind of stuff that I like to see right here. You know, where I can actually read along and understand it. All right, let's get on with the show.
36. Plaintiffs respectfully requests that this motion to disqualify Magistrate Judge Zachary Bolitha be granted and that these matters be reassigned to a different magistrate judge. 37. A memorandum of law in support of this motion is set forth below. All emphasis, bolding, italics, underlining, was done by this writer unless otherwise indicated that emphasis was supplied by a court. 38. Plaintiff's counsel has conferred with defendants prior to filing this motion. Only Defendant Luthman agrees with reassignment, albeit for other grounds not discussed herein. Memorandum of Law in support of Plaintiffs, Motion 4. Disqualification. Under 28 U.S.C.S. Section 455, A, the Federal Recusal Statute, a judge must disqualify himself in any proceeding where his impartiality might reasonably be questioned. Liddickey v. United States, 510 U.S. 540, 1994, Section 455, A. The statute employs an objective standard, requiring the court to assess whether a reasonable, disinterested, lay observer, fully informed of all of the unique facts and circumstances of the case, would harbor significant doubt about the judge's impartiality. ID. Recusal or reassignment is appropriate where impartiality might reasonably be questioned by the average person on the street who knows all the relevant facts of a case. Centis. Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26, page 11 of 34.
All right. This is one of the things that I find interesting in this is the fact that Bolithio was allowing a lot of this nonsense to go on. Okay. Randy was seeing what was going on. So Randy would pop up with sanctions, asking for sanctions to get this stuff to stop. Why didn't Bolithio see the stuff that Randy was seeing? The only reason Randy was filing for sanctions is because these people were filing these absolute garbage motions, and Randy and them saw it. Why didn't the judge see it? Why did he let all of this spiral out of control? At one point in time, Bubbles, somebody put, I think it was Tug, put up a chart that somebody did. How many motions Manskin filed, how many Randy filed, and how many the judge filed. And I think Randy was at 8, and I can't remember what Manskin was, but it was up there in the 20s, 30s, 40s, somewhere around there. It was double, more than double than what Randy had filed. So he wants to show bias against Jeremy and Randy for doing the job that they were paid to do, or Randy was paid to do, which is defend his client, but yet turn around and he's allowing these chuckleheads to file all of this garbage without putting his foot down. And then when he finally does put his foot down, the only one that gets charged with anything is Randy. The only one that has to pay anything is Randy. It's clear. Oh shit. If Lisa and them can't see the bias, but of course they're not going to see the bias. I bet they do. I bet they see it, but they're not ever going to say anything about it. Because then it would go against their narrative. They want this thing to be dismissed. But if she's supposed to be as smart as a lawyer as she says she is, she sees it. She sees the clear bias. She sees the fact that everybody involved on that side of the fence have all done their jobs very well to get this thrown out of court. I hope Hinkle sees what Randy has written here and sees the truth. Like I said, I don't have any skin in the game. I'm not involved in this lawsuit at all. That doesn't mean that I want to see Jeremy lose. I think Jeremy deserves justice. Am I going to lose sleep if it gets dismissed? No. I'm not involved in it. My involvement stops as a fan. It's just right there. I'm a fan. I'm not involved in it financially or legally. So anyway, that's just my opinion on that. I could be wrong. And most generally, or most likely, I am. So I'm here. I'm here, guys. Do you guys not hear anything? I'm here, as far as I know. Is something going on? Do you guys not hear what's going on? You don't hear anything? Say words. David Del Price, I'm here. Do you guys not see me or hear me? I'm not muted. So the 1-2 times Belethio denied BBB's motion. They wanted him to go or wanted him gone. Now they say the same thing about Jeremy. But for Jeremy, yeah. You were silent. Well, I was letting it read. Was it not reading? Yeah, we didn't hear you for a bit. Yeah, I was just letting the thing read. You guys did hear it read, right? No sound for at least a few minutes, Coop. Well, okay. I sorry for that. So I'll just start this page over. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Now I'm fine. Okay. Well, hey, I'm going to start this page over and you guys tell me if you can hear it. I'm pretty sure you can. Did I? Yeah, I didn't change that, so it should be working. Okay, you guys hearing that? Nope, didn't read it. Didn't hear it read. Yeah, it wasn't reading. Yes. Yeah, it wasn't reading. Yes, here I now. Yes, we hear you now. No, we do not hear the doc either. Okay, well, I'll just start it over. How's that sound? How's that sound? Yeah, we'll just stop sharing. And then I'll go back and I'll reshare it and see if something malfunky don't. There we go there. Here we go here. And we'll go back to this window. And we'll hit share. No, reading, no. Okay. All right. You were stuck. Oh, I was stuck. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Well, I'm back up. I'm going now. Let's see. I'm going to let it read the first two sentences. I'll stop it and ask you guys if you heard it.
Group, Inc. versus Shell Oil Company, 559 F. 3rd 888, 8th CIR 2009, citing in Ray Khan.
All right. Did you hear that, boys and girls? Don't see the document. I hear you now. Hit your computer with a hammer. That will make it work. All right. All right. All right. Hit your computer with a hammer. Timothy says, good morning, Timmy. Good afternoon. It's not on screen. I'm looking at it. It's on screen. I see it. I see it now. Okay. Yes, we hear it. All right. All right. Let's go. Let's rock it.
Group, Inc. versus Shell Oil Company, 559 F. 3rd 888, 8th CIR 2009, citing in Ray Khan. Pub, Employees Ret, S-Wise, 85 F3D 1353 at 1358 to 59, 8th CIR 1996, applying Section 455A. In Litigey, the court stated, opinions formed by the judge on the basis of facts introduced or events occurring in the course of the current proceedings, or of prior proceedings, do not constitute a basis for a bias or partiality motion unless they display a deep-seated favoritism or antagonism that would make fair judgment impossible. Thus, judicial remarks during the course of a trial that are critical or disapproving of, or even hostile to, counsel, the parties, or their cases, ordinarily do not support a bias or partiality challenge. They may do so if they reveal an opinion that derives from an extrajudicial source, and they will do so if they reveal such a high degree of favoritism or antagonism as to make fair judgment impossible. ID. At 491, italics supplied by the court emphasized that the appearance of partiality must be evaluated based on the unique facts and circumstances of each case. Recusal decisions under Section 455A are extremely fact-driven and must be judged on their unique facts and circumstances more than by comparison to situations considered in prior jurisprudence. United States v. Curtin, 74 F. 4th 1299, 11th CIR 2023, citing in Ray Moody, 755 F. 3D 891, 895, 11th CIR 2014. The Litigey Court clarified that the extrajudicial source doctrine applies to 28 USCS Section 455A, but does not preclude consideration of judicial conduct during proceedings if it reflects a high degree of favoritism or antagonism. This standard would encompass related cases if the judge's involvement in one case could. Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26, page 12 of 34.
All right. All right. There's that one. Let's continue. Let's continue. Yeah, you guys pop it up in there. If you don't hear it reading, you just let me know. All right. I'm actually looking at another program that I'm going to buy, and it sounds more realistic, has more of a human tone to it, and it also highlights each word as it reads it. So I'm looking at that because I do like it when it does that. I've tested it out a little bit, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. So bear with me. 7 more day countdown to Ohio, right? Right?
Reasonably lead to doubts about impartiality in another. SEC versus Antar, 71 F. 3D 97, 3rd. CIR 1995. The report reflects Judge Bolitha's high degree of antagonism toward Hales' counsel and Hales' lawsuit itself, which originated in a closely related case, Hales I, and carried over into this case, resulting in a dismissal with prejudice that appears more retaliatory than reasoned. Cf. Centis Group, Inc. versus Shell Oil Company, 559 F. 3D 888, 904 to 905, 8th CIR. 2009. In context of remand reassignment, court analyzed judge's conduct under Section 455A, determining that the proceedings leading up to and including a sanctions hearing and the ultimate order of dismissal reflected a Sufficiently high degree of antagonism to require reassignment of the case on remand. To understand the development and progression of Judge Bolitha's extreme disdain for this case and Hale's counsel, it is necessary to discuss his comments and actions in Hale's I where it began. When construed together, the record undeniably reflects that the judge's overwhelming distaste for Hale's I carried over into Hale's II. Not surprisingly, Judge Bolitha specifically referenced Hale's I in Note 3 of his report, Doc 161, page 3. Curiously, in that same note, the judge also referenced an entirely different lawsuit filed by Hales against a Florida state court prosecutor, 125 CV 920, to which Judge Bolitha was not assigned. Judge Bolitha apparently took it upon himself to Case 125 CV 00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26 page 13 of 34.
What do you mean, what happened, hun? I'm right here. Nothing happened. Everything. Did anyone see what Jeremy filed in bankruptcy yesterday? Did Kip fall down? No, I'm right here. Okay, I'm going to just continue. If there's no problem, I'm just going to continue letting this thing read. I'm going to give it a minute and let you guys see if you guys aren't hearing it or something. I don't know why Mama comes in here saying that I fall down unless she's behind or something. I don't know. All right, we're on 14. Well, I guess nobody's having a problem here, so I'm going to keep going.
Look into that case and expressly mentioned that Judge
Mama
Windsor
Coop.
dismissed it for failure to state a claim. Although an appeal of that ruling has been pending, Judge Bolitha mentioned only dismissal of the case. Judge Bolitha's reference to the unrelated Owen case, in context, can be understood as a generalized predisposition against the legitimacy of Hale's other cases and his counsel's judgment, which creates the appearance that the court's later evaluation of pleadings and motions in related proceedings may not be made with the requisite detachment. Given that the report dismisses Hale's claims against 8 of 10 defendants with prejudice and expressly references other pending related litigation commenced by Hale's, to which Judge Bolitha is assigned, the juxtaposition of referencing Judge Windsor's unfavorable ruling in a case to which Judge Bolitha is not assigned implies that Judge Bolitha believes that all of Hale's complaints lack merit. While independent research by a judge in and of itself does not inherently require disqualification, it becomes problematic when it creates a reasonable appearance of partiality. Mathis v. Huff and Puff Trucking, Inc., 787 F3D 1297, 10th CIR 2015, United States v. Mobley, 971 F3D 1187, 10th CIR 2020. Judge Bolitha's footnote referencing Owen is problematic when viewed in the context of the judge's remarks and comments in Hale's I and Hale's II. In examining the unique facts and circumstances here, there are striking similarities to SEC v. Antar, Supra. There, the judge's pejorative remarks about Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26 page 14 of 34. Defendant Antar's son, and others, in a prior criminal fraud case against the son cast negative aspersions against defendant Antar, the father, in the subsequent civil fraud case presided over by the same judge and were deemed sufficient to warrant disqualification of the judge from the father's case. Here, Judge Bolitha's repeated remarks in Hale's I expressing his disgust for the case generally and the manner in which Hale's counsel, specifically, has litigated the case reflects a deep-seated antagonism which carried over into the report in Hale's II, making fair judgment impossible and warranting Judge Bolitha's disqualification from both cases. Hale's I. The origin of carryover antagonism. Hale's I began with the filing of Mr. Hale's complaint against defendants Preston and Cook on March 4, 2024, Hale's I, Doc 1. Magistrate Judge Bolitha was assigned to that case. 6 months later, on September 5, 2024, the court granted attorney Bruce Matskin's motion to appear pro hac vice on behalf of the two defendants, Hale's I, Doc 15. At that point, there were only 15 docket entries during the entire 6-month period between March 4 and September 5, including the order granting Matskin pro hac vice status, with no admonishments by the court of either the parties or Hale's counsel. A mere 3 months after attorney Matskin became involved in the case, there were 41 docket entries, with Matskin responsible for 10 of the 26 additional entries, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 26, 31, 38, and 39, and attorney Shockett responsible for 3, 24, 25, and 40. A mere 3 months after. Case 125 CV00058 RHZ document 166 filed February 24, 26, page 15 of 34.
See, right there you go, guys. You see that? Oh my God. Responsible for 10 of 26 additional entries. Oh my God. He's got 10 entries here. Randy's got 3. But yeah, Randy was sanctioned. Now, if you guys remember, it was probably mid last year when Fleece and all those chuckleheads were talking about Randy or not Randy, but Jeremy having mayors and judges and police departments all in his back pocket. You think she's still preaching that shit now?
Matskin became involved in the case. The first orders began to issue complaining of litigation misconduct, Hales I, Docs 41 and 43. Doc 43 filed the 9th of December 24, for example, criticizes Mr. Hales for refusing to answer certain deposition questions. Regarding defendant's counsel, Bruce Matskin, the court stated, second, defendant's counsel needs to focus on asking questions about the claims raised in this litigation instead of attempting to instigate conflict by asking about unrelated matters involving plaintiff and defendants. Way too much of the time was devoted to irrelevant information about people and events that have nothing to do with the claims in this case. Doc 43, page .4, on March 13, 2025, Hales' counsel filed a motion for sanctions including judicial default, Doc 96. That motion asked for court intervention to stop attorney Matskin's wholly unprofessional behavior, which included vile name-calling, inappropriate emojis suggesting more vile name-calling, derogatory personal remarks and accusations against Hales and his attorney, nonsense words, and gratuitous bullying. Matskin's behavior prevented meaningful efforts to meet and confer on substantive matters as required by federal and local rules, as well as progress the case generally. Despite attorney Shockett's repeated direct requests to Matskin to stop doing this, Matskin did not stop. Hales' motion for sanctions led to Judge Bolitha immediately issuing an order to show cause against attorney Matskin. That order, Doc 98, required Matskin to respond to the sanctions motion, including why Matskin's pro-hack vice status should. Case 125 CV00058 RHZ document 166 filed February 24, 26, page 16 of 34.
Good morning, Mary Ann. How you doing, young lady? How y'all doing? Yeah, we're talking about the motion Randy filed to have Bolithio removed. Just reading over this, I believe that Hinkle should remove him. But hey, who am I? What am I? I'm just some cat on the interwebs talking about this stuff. Do I have any control over what the Judge Hinkle does? No, I do not. It's pretty cut as far as I'm concerned. It reads pretty cut and dry. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I don't understand why he would not agree to remove Bolithio. Bolithio, I think, has hung himself as far as this goes with the wording that he's used in the past, and Randy is damn sure using every bit of it at his disposal. Everything that Randy has laid out, in my opinion, has shown the path to Bolithio being removed. Now, whether or not Hinkle does, who knows? Because remember, we're still dealing with the Owens stuff. Why in the world, and Rough Night, why in the world he would bring the Owens case up in his recommendation to dismiss is beyond me. Hinkle, because remember, Owens, he is a member of the court. Could Belethio be could he be in retaliation against Jeremy for him suing Owens? Who knows? I don't know. Could be, maybe. Who knows? This is the South. We do have the good old boy rule down here. But I have listened to Tug and Megan on several occasions where they have made mention. Judges do not like to be overruled, especially on appeals and stuff. So, since Belethio is a magistrate, and it's clear signs of bias here, would Hinkle, being he's the head judge, be smart and just dismiss Belethio's recommendation and carry on with the case with new magistrate? Or is he going to follow suit with Belethio, dismiss the case, and take his chances that Randy won't file for an appeal? If I was a judge, I would be worried about it getting overturned on appeal. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. All right, let's go. We'll get on with this.
Not be revoked. It also required counsel to appear in person for hearing in Pensacola, Florida on April 3, 2025, and requests for remote appearance or another location would be denied. The second order, Doc 118, issued less than 2 weeks later and addressed 4 motions for the same relief, attorney's fees, filed by attorney Matskin on behalf of the defendants. Immediately after striking defendants' 4 motions, the order stated, "The court is tired of both attorneys in this case clogging the docket with unnecessary, duplicative, and meritless filings. The quantity of judicial resources that have been consumed by this case is ridiculous." Doc 118, page .1. Although no similar motions or show cause orders had been directed against Attorney Shockett, Judge Bolitha suddenly went on to add, "The court hereby notifies counsel that at the hearing previously scheduled for April 3, 2025, the court will also be addressing whether both attorneys should be sanctioned for their continual abuse of the judicial process and unprofessional litigation conduct. The unprofessionalism of both lawyers in this case surpasses anything that the undersigned has seen before. When counsel for both parties show up for the hearing on April 3, 2025, they must bring their checkbooks. The attorneys in this case have taken advantage of the court's patience and abused the judicial process. No more." Doc 118, pp. 1-2. 2 days before the April 3 hearing, Matskin filed a motion to vacate consent to magistrate, Doc 123, presumably, in an effort to escape the inevitable punishment that was expected to have been imposed upon him due to his Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26, page 17 of 34.
Oh, unprofessionalism. And unethical conduct. Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Unprofessional and unethical conduct 3. Judge Windsor later denied Matskin's motion in July 2025, noting, "There are real questions about whether it was filed in good faith." Doc 164, page 2. The very day before the hearing, Matskin filed his Notice of Defendants. Counsel's inability to appear April, sick, and request to decide motion number 96 in show cause based on number 115. Doc 124. Matskin made it clear he did not intend to appear as required by court order. In response, the court issued the March 27, 25 order. Doc 118, stating in relevant part, "To the extent defendant's counsel seeks leave not to attend the hearing that was scheduled nearly 3 weeks ago for tomorrow, April 3, 2025, the request is denied. The hearing will go forward tomorrow as scheduled, footnote omitted." The hearing in this case was noticed nearly 3 weeks ago on March 14, 2025. Doc 99. Thus, defendant's counsel had more than sufficient time to make travel arrangements. Moreover, defendant's counsel had ample time to file a motion seeking a continuance of the hearing if there was a true scheduling conflict. Instead, he waited until the 11th hour to allege, quite dubiously, that he has a scheduling conflict. That is despite the fact that since March 14, 2025, defendant's counsel has filed plenty of Other documents. See Docs 100, 104, 105, 111, 112, 114, 115, 116, 117. Finally, the court would be remiss if it did not address defendant's counsel's claim that he fears being arrested if he attends the hearing tomorrow. Absurd. 3. The conduct described in Hale's motion for sanctions included, but was not limited to, Matsken's repeated email communications to Attorney Shockett with phrases like, "Randy, you scumbag, you dirtbag, clownsel," and eggplant emojis referring to nether portions of the male anatomy. All of those rose to the level of being sanctionable by the Florida bar, which would meet the legal standard to revoke pro hac vice status. Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26, page 18 of 34.
Wow. Wow. I love the fact that Randy's using the judge's own words. I can't believe Bolithio was dumb enough to think that this wasn't coming. I mean, surely he's been involved in people trying to have him recused before. You would think that everything a judge puts on record would think twice before they put it on record, because it can always come back to be used against them. And I personally, once again, think that Randy's doing, or Doreen, whichever one wrote this out, has done an outstanding job letting Hinkle know, hey, look, this is coming from his own mouth. This is his own words. You can distinctly see that he is biased in this situation. I mean, I don't see how the Judge Hinkle could see anything other than that. Personally, it's just absolutely insane. All right.
By the time the 2026 report issued, Hales 2:1 Matsken had already been admonished in the 12th of September 24 order in Hales I for litigation misconduct at deposition, and also in the order of March 27, 25 for his excessive, redundant filings. 2. Sanctions and revocation of his pro hac vice status were sought due to Matsken's egregious unprofessionalism. 3. Matsken defied the order requiring his presence in court on April 3 by failing to appear, and 4. Judge Windsor himself doubted Matsken's good faith in seeking to vacate the consent to magistrate. Nonetheless, and with all of that said, at the sanctions hearing on April 3, 2025, Judge Bolitha appeared to place virtually all of the blame for the case being a nightmare, T14, L. 25, on Attorney Shockett, the only attorney present. We also see a 180-degree change with regard to Preston's request to have counsel appointed for her. In Hales I, Judge Bolitha denied it, stating there were no exceptional circumstances warranting such appointment. Doc 30, Hales I. 1 year later, and shortly after the April 3 show cause hearing, Judge Bolitha granted her request in Hales II, stating there were exceptional circumstances, b. ASED on the unique circumstances of this case and the court's familiarity gained from presiding over a related case, with the facts and issues involved. Doc 30, page 2, Hales 2. By July 1, 2025, Judge Bolitha's familiarity with the related case led him to characterize both counsel's motions as different sides of the same ugly. Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26, page 19 of 34.
Wow. So this is where the judge is actually starting to look for a lawyer for her. And yeah, I do agree with you, Sharon. Yeah, I think they took the $4,000 that Randy had to pay and might have given it for a lawyer for her if they would have found any, but none stood up. I mean, Bubbles, he searched Florida for a long time trying to find lawyers to take this on, and he could not find anyone because everybody knows the kind of, that Lynette had no grounds to stand on. That's why nobody took it. And plus, he was trying to get everybody to do it for free while he sits back there in the back with some kind of little contingency thingy to where he could make money, but nobody else could, I assume. Not sure about that, but yeah, what you got to say, Tammy girl? Okay, where'd Tammy go? There she is. Coop Bolithio had only started on the bench in 2022, 2023. He is too new to the bench. I agree with you. I'll be the first one to say, I was wrong. I stood up with this guy, and I tried having my faith in him all the way up until this recommendation for dismissal. I think he is showing clear signs of bias now. That's just my opinion. Other people's opinions are going to be different. So be it. I'm going to jump right on board with everybody else now. I mean, this isn't a hate thing. This isn't I don't like you because you don't like me thing. This is flat out. You can see the bias. You can literally see it. Randy has laid this out. Randy and Doreen have laid this out perfect to where anyone can see the clear bias using the judge's own words. If you can't see it, it's because you refuse to see it.
Coin of unprofessionalism by counsel that has plagued this case. Doc 162, page point 1, Hales I. Here, familiarity bred contempt, combined with the judge's repeated hostile comments about the case and counsel in Hales I and the development of his obvious contempt for the case as shown by the record, the pejorative language in the report clearly reveals that Judge Bolitha developed a deep-seated antagonism in Hales I which carried over into Hales II. A reasonable person fully informed of all of these facts would rightly doubt his impartiality or ability to judge these cases fairly. Indeed, dismissal of Hales' second amended complaint with prejudice against 8 of the 10 defendants eliminated a significant portion of this nightmare of a case from Judge Bolitha's docket. A. The hearing on April 3, 2025. I. Timeliness. Despite Judge Bolitha's remarks at the April 3 hearing, Hales did not seek disqualification at that time. Mavant certainly acknowledges that Section 455A contains a timeliness requirement aimed at preventing parties from waiting until after adverse rulings. Burke v. Regalado, 935 F3D 960, 10th CIR 2019. However, the April 3 hearing was earmarked as a show cause sanctions hearing and the law is clear that judicial remarks critical of a party or counsel, even if disapproving or hostile, do not, in and of themselves, support a bias or partiality challenge unless they reflect a Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26 page 20 of 34. Deep-seated antagonism or favoritism. United States v. Animali, 2023 U.S. App. Lexis 1336, 11th CIR 2023. Indeed, at the end of the hearing, Judge Bolitha indicated he would be issuing a separate sanctions order against Matskin personally, confirmed by Docs 133 and 162. The next day, the judge issued another show cause order for Matskin personally to explain why sanctions should not issue against him for failure to appear at the hearing. Doc 128, and on April 14, 2025, the judge stayed the case, Doc 133, extending it indefinitely on May 13, 2025, Doc 140. Although the judge lifted its self-imposed stay a month later, Doc 147, defendant's bankruptcy filing again stayed the case indefinitely as of mid-July, Doc 172. Because it appeared that Judge Bolitha intended to sanction Matskin personally and independently for both his conduct and for failing to appear at hearing, and because the various stays ostensibly afforded all concerned a much-needed cooling-off period, a disqualification motion did not appear necessary or warranted at that juncture. However, the April 3 remarks in Hales I became materially relevant later in Hales II when Judge Bolitha issued the February 10, 2026 report containing pejorative language directed at Hales' counsel and recommending sweeping dismissal of Hales' second amended complaint with prejudice. The 2026 report, when viewed together with the April 3 transcript and other portions of the Hales I record, presents the first concrete indication that the judge's earlier hostility. Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26 page 21 of 34.
Thank you, Tor Hill, for the $2 super chat, young lady. Much appreciated. That'll help go a long way for the 3D printer fun. Thank you, young lady.
Thank you, my friend.
I don't even think I needed to play Big Boy's button because he's been out there crowing for the past, 10 minutes or so. Thank you so much again, Tori Hill, for the $2 super chat, girly girl. Much appreciated. I believe Judge Grudge has been demoted to janitorial duties. I heard he's off the bench now, or he will be. Carrie, what you got to say? I wonder how many emails were sent to the courts from the ecosystem. Court do not like public scrutiny. Well, Carrie, I do know of a email chain. I'm not involved in it, but Jay and Shizzy and Tug and Megan, they are, from what I understand, looped in on it. And it all started with paint chips, and a bunch of those chuckleheads have been emailing the judge. So the judge has been seeing a lot of this going on as far as this email chain. Now, I haven't personally seen the email chain. I don't know anything other than what Tug and Megan and Jay has talked about on their shows. So I cannot tell you for certain what is going on when it comes to that. But I do know that there have been emails sent to the judge. I do know that. All right, let's get on with the show.
Progressed and affected later decision-making in Hales 2. Certainly, as we sit here today, 10 months after the April 3rd hearing, Judge Bolitha has not sanctioned Attorney Matskin personally despite his pattern of blatant misconduct and willful violations of court orders, although Shockett's $4,000 sanction for filing motions to dismiss the two defendants' counterclaims under the mistaken belief that he was an intended party was paid immediately with apologies to the court regardless of whether the apology was warranted or not. Remarks at the April 3rd hearing. Despite two court orders requiring his appearance, Attorney Matskin did not attend. Attorney Shockett appeared in person, bringing his checkbook as ordered. Although Hale's motion for sanctions was slated to be heard with the court's March 14th show cause order directed toward Matskin, the court took its frustration out on Shockett, because he was there and Matskin was not. T11 LL. 2-3. Early on, the judge stated, and I'll be honest, when I got to your motion, because of the way the case has been litigated, I just shook my head as here we go again. T8 LL. 14-15. As Shockett attempted to explain why he filed the motion, Judge Bolitha cut him off, stating, "The court. So the problem here, and this is why I'm so frustrated with this case. T9 L. 25 and page 10 L. 1. Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB document 166 filed February 24, 26 page 22 of 34. Mr. Shockett, I see your frustration and I understand. The court. You guys don't appear to understand that I have hundreds of cases and you too consume an inordinate amount of my time and my staff's time. I know your case number by heart, 124 CV45, because I have to type orders in that case all the time. And what I see is, and you're as guilty of it as Mr. Matskin is, it's we've got not just one motion to dismiss, we got first all these motions for summary judgment that get filed. Why are we filing a multitude of motions for summary judgment right after a counterclaim is filed when we know that we're going to have a summary judgment deadline? I strike all of those. Mr. Shockett, can I be heard on that one, Judge? The court. You can in a minute. I strike all of those. And then right after I strike all of those, here's my next volley of new motions. And then I rule upon those and here's my next volley of new motions. If you look at a case that goes to trial where it has lawyers who are doing their jobs for your client, there might be 50 docket entries in that case, at most. I'm at 125 and we're not even through discovery. And some of that is Mr. Matskin's fault and some of it is yours. And he's not here and you are. So tell me, I'm trying to understand why, or what's the point of filing those motions? What, Mr. Shockett? I really want to respond. The court. Yeah, I'm going to give you an opportunity. Mr. Shockett, if you recall at the beginning of this case, they did that. And I had to respond to the summary judgment that was filed instamatically. The court. Yep, T10-11, L. 14, asterisk asterisk. The court, and I denied it. Mr. Shockett. I know you did, but it was allowed. And I, the court, and how was it allowed? I denied it. I denied it. Mr. Shockett. You denied after I responded, Judge. The court, yeah, T11, LL. 19 to 25. Case 125 CV00058 RHCCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26, page 23 of 34. The court, but you said, and, again, those motions are not specifically here. I didn't notice those as part of what we're going to talk about. Mr. Shockett. Right, the court, but I looked at them in preparation for the hearing, and one of the things you say in there is T12, LL. 9 to 14, Mr. Shockett. I haven't done the math, but I can almost guarantee you, it's a much higher percentage of filings from the other side. The court, there's a lot on. Mr. Shockett. Which I have to respond to those filings, Judge. When he files something, I have to respond. T13, LL. 8 to 15. At this point, just a few minutes into the hearing, Judge Bolitha already expressed his exasperation over the many docket entries in the case such that he knew the case number by heart, T10, LL. 5 to 6, placed most of the blame on Shockett merely because he was there and Matskin was not, T11, LL. 2 to 3, and ignored that a party who opposes the motion must file a memorandum in opposition. Local Rule 7.1, Northern District of Florida. Meanwhile, despite that the March 27 show cause order specifically notes that Matskin filed 4 motions alone between March 14 and March 27, and despite the fact that attorney Matskin also defied the judge's order and failed to appear, Judge Bolitha stated that Shockett was just as guilty as Matskin of litigation misconduct, T10, L7. The judge's disdain for the case. Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26, page 24 of 34. And his unfavorable perception of attorney Shockett's contribution to his workload is further evidenced by the following additional comments. It has ballooned into this nightmare. T14, LL. 24 to 25. Any objective observer would take a look at this docket and say, what a disaster. T22, LL. 10 to 11. I know your case number by heart, 124 CV45, because I have to type orders in that case all the time. T10, LL. 5 to 7. But I also, there's also attached into document 117 a whole bunch of your emails, pages and pages of them, and I don't like them. T13, LL. 19 to 20. Note. These emails that the judge didn't like were the very exhibits proving the allegations in Hale's sanctions motion. That may be true, but I don't like them, and T13, LL. 23 to 24. But you threw out this, you stir the pot. T14, LL. 3 to 4. There is no purpose to do that other than to stir the pot and instigate conflict. T14, LL. 9 to 10, and it raised. All of these things just raise the temperature here. T14, LL. 20 to 21, and maybe it's some of their fault. Maybe it's some of your fault, but it's not my fault. T15, LL. 1 to 2, and, but you know who deals with it all the time? Me, and I'm done with it. T15, LL. 4 to 5, I'm done with this gentleman, right here, my law clerk spending most of his days researching and writing and trying to keep up with the docket in this case. T15, LL. 7 to 9. Because you're not entitled, Mr. Hales is entitled to have a trial in this case, but he is not entitled to monopolize a federal judge's time. T15, LL. 12 to 14. Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26, page 25 of 34.
So it sounds like to me, guys and gals, that the judge wants his paycheck, but he doesn't want to work for it. That's what it sounds like to me. Just because he doesn't like what's going on and he's too lazy to read it and do his job doesn't mean it gives him grounds to dismiss it. I mean, Jeremy and Randy, they paid for this lawsuit to go through. They paid the court to file this lawsuit. And why does the judge get to decide, oh, I just don't want to spend time doing my job, so I'm just going to dismiss it? That's horse shit, in my opinion.
And so you bear responsibility for that. T15, L.16. And this is a problem I have had with the practice in this case overall. T15, LL. 23 to 24. So who's going to do that? So who's going to do that? Me. You expect, so what you expected to do was to file that motion, and then I am going to have to write an order to go through that and to spend time to say here's the legal standard, here's what it takes to add an additional party under Rule 13, H. Here are the service rules, here, and then I'm going to provide all the analysis and the discussion to explain why those motions have no basis in fact or law. T16, LL. 21 to 25, T17, LL. 1 to 4. None of which happened here, and, again, I go back to my basic reaction and the reaction in my chambers. T20, LL. 16 to 17. But and again, if it was just those two, if it was those two things in a vacuum. But it's not, everything is considered in context. T21, LL. 4 and LL. 6 to 7. And the context of the entire lawsuit is those are kind of the latest in a flurry of, look at the docket here. T21, LL. 22 to 24. And so that's just an example of how this docket, everything just gets ballooned. And what any reasonable observer of that docket would also say is I have been way too patient, and probably the reason why the docket has gotten that way is I've given you guys too much leeway. And, look, I have never had a situation before where I threaten people with sanctions and they don't stop. T23, LL. 6 to 13. The court. But you do a lot of threatening of getting me involved, and a lot of, the emails attached to that one document, I don't like any of them. Mr. Shockett. I also tell him, please, don't disparage people. The court, yeah, case 125 CV00058 RHZCB document 166 filed February 24, 26, page 26 of 34.
Man, this guy, Bolithio's just oozing, bitching about having to do his job. The guy is literally paid to do exactly what he's bitching about doing. Wow. Maybe he needs to look at a new career change. What do you think? Walmart greeter, McDonald's server, maybe Always Save grocery boy. Yeah.
Mr. Shockett. I say, please, don't do this. I'm trying to educate him, please, this is not proper. I could show you a lot of emails, you're not seeing them. T23, LL. 21 to 25, T24, LL. 1 to 7. Look, this is, I think I said this to you guys before, this is like talking to my kids. When my 11-year-old does something and then my 7-year-old reacts. And my 7-year-old reacts and says, well, look, he did it first. T25, LL. 10 to 15. I've already done that, okay. I sat here and did a redeposition, 2.5 hours of my life that I will not get back, because you guys couldn't do a deposition on your own. T26, LL. 6 to 9. All I'm trying to get you to see, Mr. Shockett, is I've got lots of cases, and in almost all those cases, the lawyers have to deal with the same, they have the same types of requirements. They have to depose people. They have to do all these things, and I don't hear about it. Yeah, but I'm saying those lawyers, they figure it out. T27, LL. 7 to 15. What I'm saying, though, is if you think it's going to get easier now that there's a pro se party, potentially pro se parties involved, I don't know that it's necessarily true. You can't keep filing stuff like those motions because I'm not, that affects the court. And that affects you are using the resources of the court, and I'm looking at a motion to dismiss counterclaims. T27, LL. 19 to 25, T28, L. 1.
All right. A lot of this stuff is just transcripts from the judges from the April 3rd hearing. Okay. We know what a lot of this stuff is going to say. So I'm going to get on down here to where Randy's actually coming back talking now. I'm going to get away from these transcripts and go back into what Randy's actually, filing with the courts.
Judge Bolitha admonished Shochet over 35 times during a 48-minute hearing, complained repeatedly that the case was a burden on him and his staff because of the increased workload and voluminous docket, did not appear interested in Shochet's complaints or evidence showing Matskin's egregious unprofessionalism that Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26 page 28 of 34. Hindered the case from progressing, determined that all he saw was tit for tat, and fined Shochet $4,000 for filing 2 motions despite what appeared to be a mistaken belief by Shochet in doing so. Judge Bolitha later denied issuing the judicial default against Preston and Cook because of Matskin's bad behavior. Doc 162 has not yet issued any sanctions against Matskin, nor discharged either show cause order against him. The report recommending dismissal of the lion's share of the case with prejudice is not merely an adverse ruling, it is a byproduct of the deep-seated antagonism that Judge Bolitha clearly harbors for this case and for Hales' counsel, which has carried over from Hales i.e. In the report, Judge Bolitha characterizes Hales' second amended complaint as a sprawling 74-page document that borders on a shotgun pleading, Doc 161, page .1, alleging a sprawling conspiracy. Doc 161, page 26, N.8. Judge Bolitha's word selection immediately establishes a fault-finding tone consistent with his prior grievances that attorney Shochet's filings clog his docket and create more work for him and his staff. Although the judge appears upset that Hales' complaint borders on a shotgun pleading, particularly noting he instructed Shochet to familiarize himself with the 11th Circuit's precedent on such pleadings, the judge's self-created chart on page 4 reveals that, by definition, it was not. The specific claims against each respective defendant are readily identifiable. That he qualified the word. Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26 page 29 of 34.
Thank you, Jack, for the $5 super chat, my friend. Coop, what do you expect from a former Sec of State supporter? Not my words. Okay. All right. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Jack. I don't know what he did before he became a judge, but I am glad to see, where is it at? Right here. Yeah. I'm glad to see this right here. Right there. I am extremely glad to see this, reminding Hinkle of the injustice. The reason Randy was called to this April 3rd hearing was so that Manskin had to explain why he shouldn't have his pro hac vici taken and to answer for all the frivolous nonsense that got Randy pulled into it. Randy took his lumps for the 2 motions that he filed. Manskin should take his financial hit as well for the, I think it was 8 to 12 motions. I think it was close to $20,000. If it was $2,000 a piece, I think it's totally unfair. Jeremy has dished out almost $500,000 in fighting these people legally. Manskin creates a problem and Randy's the only one that has to pay for it. This isn't because I like or dislike Randy or like or dislike Manskin. This is a flat out common sense. This is flat out justice not being served on Manskin when it comes to the sanctions that he has coming to him. That's exactly what it is. All right, let's go back. We don't have but just a few more pages and we are done with this motion.
Shotgun, with borders on, and, arguably, Doc 161, page 15, N.6, effectively means it is not a shotgun pleading. In tone and context, however, it is very apparent that Judge Bolitha doesn't like Shochet's sprawling pleading and his continued criticism appears to be a repeat of the April 3rd hearing. Bias toward an attorney is not enough unless it demonstrates a bias against the party itself. Bellew v. Leventhal, 640 F. 3D 567, 4th CIR 2011. Judge Bolitha's antagonism toward attorney Shockett demonstrates bias against Hales. When counsel is the exclusive vehicle for presenting Mr. Hales's case, statements by the judge finding fault with everything the attorney does, combined with prior statements that counsel repeatedly abuses the judicial process and that the court was done, and at its limit, creates the appearance that future rulings will be influenced by hostility to counsel that effectively deprives the party of an impartial tribunal. The judge's sweeping dismissal of most of Hales' claims with prejudice in the face of extreme and repeated criticism of Hales' counsel for clogging up the docket makes the report appear retaliatory. Moreover, the recommendation to dismiss all claims against 8 defendants with prejudice without affording plaintiff an opportunity to amend is particularly harsh given that the deficiencies identified relate largely to pleading standards rather than substantive legal bars to relief. Judge Bolitha states several times that the allegations in the complaint are conclusory, vague, and overgeneralized. Doc 161, Case 125 CV00058 RHCC-B Document 166 filed February 24, 26, page 30 of 34. Page 6, 9, and 26, which are actually good reasons to allow amendment. The grant or denial of an opportunity to amend is within the discretion of the district court. Foman v. Davis, 371 U.S. 178, 1962. Substantive objections aside, that Judge Bolitha chose to exercise his discretion against allowing amendment while indicating such was partly based on technical deficiencies and then relying on an unduly strict interpretation of a procedural rule concerning the mechanics of requesting leave to amend when written requests were contained in the responses to the motions to dismiss likewise suggests retaliation as well as bias. Judge Bolitha should recuse himself from both of Hales' cases. Conclusion. As Senior Judge Brookhart stated in his concurring opinion in United States v. Hanna, 2021 CCA Lexus 192, Army Crim. App. 2021, J. Judges are human, and as such, there may be times when they are too severe in their reproaches of counsel, calling into question their impartiality. Relief may be justified if the military judge's actions are so extreme that they undermine the public perception of fairness in our judicial system. ID. At 45, this is one of those times. For the foregoing reasons, Magistrate Judge Zachary Bolitha should be disqualified from both of Hales' cases, 125 CV 58 and 124 CV 45, pursuant to 28 U.S.C. Section 455A, and a new magistrate judge should be reassigned. Case 125 CV00058 RHZCB Document 166 filed February 24, 26, page 31 of 34.
All right, and this is your good faith certificate that Randy's done everything, proper and just, and here we go, certified, blah, blah, blah. All right, that's 133, or not 133, that's 33 pages. The rest of this is just exhibits, which is the transcripts from, I would say, the April 3rd, right there it is, the April 3rd, 2025 hearing, so the Judge Hinkle can read it over. This is we had a lot of this in the motion. I wish I'd recognized that earlier, that a lot of what was being read was from these transcripts, because we could have skipped over it, because a lot of this was the same as the top of the motion, so we didn't really need to hear it a whole bunch of times. But flat out, my consensus on this whole thing is it's well written. It's not clogged up with a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo. It's straight to the point. It shows, in my opinion, it shows clear bias on Bolithio's part. I think that Bolithio is going to have a lot of questions to answer with Hinkle. If Hinkle does his job. Now, we haven't seen much out of Hinkle, and the little bit we have seen out of Hinkle, he has been a just judge so far. Whether he will continue to be a just judge, now that is to be seen. But as far as Bolithio goes, I think Randy did a fantastic job pointing out the bias. I really do. I don't think that Randy overstepped when it came to pointing out the faults with Manskin and what he did. So I think Hinkle is going to rule for Randy on this. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I would hope that he would. I really do. All right, guys and gals, that's it for the motion for today. Let's stop sharing all that good stuff. See, you guys are looking right in on my backstage there. So yeah. All right. So, all right, guys and gals, you guys have any questions or anything before I get off of here? I've run over a little bit today. I'm going to just keep going for a little while, let you guys do some talking. We'll do some jibber jawing in the chat. Mama had a 1-week checkup with the surgeon to see how everything's going on. So she's not home right now. So I can stay in here just a little while longer. Yes, I can. So if you guys got any questions or answers, we can talk about it. Yes, we can. All right, let me get this all. Okay, that's all done. All right, KU's in the house. Good morning, good afternoon, sir. How you doing? Oh, off the Frank D Tank. Hello, everyone. Off the rails, Frank Tank. Oh, we're just gonna call you Frank. How you doing, Frank? Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Oh, Johnny, what'd you have to say? Doreen wrote this just like she did on Grudge. Oh, it should be a winner, but it will end up at the Court of Appeals. Jeremy will win up there, just like in Florida. Well, I'm hoping Hinkle doesn't push Randy and Jeremy into that to where they have to go to the Court of Appeals. I hope Hinkle overrules Bolithio, but hey, we will see. Thank you so much, Johnny, for the comment, my brother. Tracy, welcome off the rails. All right, who else we got? Mama always in our prayers. Yeah, it's just a checkup with the surgeon to make sure she's healing all right. She's been having some stitches that are already been coming out, which is perfectly normal. The stitching that he put in are all dissolvable stitches. So as she heals, they dissolve and they come out. So he's just wanting to check on her progress. But thank you, Harry, so much for keeping Mama in your prayers. Much appreciated, my friend. Whoever wrote the motion did an awesome job, Al Walker says. Yes, I do believe I do. I know that Doreen writes a lot of Randy's stuff over there. Well, it's not just Randy's, it's theirs because they're a team. But I always love reading the stuff that the two of them write. It's always, especially this one. I really like this one a lot. I do. Angie, MrCoop, I'm late, but caught most of the Randy order. All right. Well, Angie, you know the rule around here. You're not late if you show up. You're right on time. But I get you, girl. It depends on whether it is worth prejudice or not. Okay, I got you, Carrie. I got you. Doreen wrote it. Hard to believe that she won her first fitness competition. Oh, okay. I didn't know she was into bodybuilding. I guess that's what you're talking about. See, girl, if Doreen wrote this, she would have had to sign it, not Randy. I don't know how that works, see, girl. Whoever wrote it, it turned out absolutely fabulous in my mind. Let's scroll on back and see what we got going on. How many times does a person have to break a legal order for the victim to get what they are owed? Bad Fox, I would have to agree with you on that. You guys have to remember, Jeremy has not been heard once throughout any of this, any of it. You pick a case, and he hasn't been heard once. And it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad that he keeps getting cut off at the knees, spending all this money. I do believe that that side of the fence has worked their magic with a bunch of boneheads, created this whole situation, and got exactly what they were aiming for. That is my opinion, and my opinion only. Coop, read my message above. I think I just didn't I? Did you have another one? Oh, here we go. A question which number one knows the answer to, which no one knows the answer to. How many times does someone have to do wrong before the victim gets what they owed? Well, I don't know, Bad Fox. I have no idea. I hope that Jeremy sees justice. Not really on a fan's point of view, but on a human point of view. Anyone that comes into this and sees what everybody else has seen knows that a horrible injustice has been done to Jeremy and his business. And why these chuckleheads think that it all should be just swept under the rug is beneath me, because if they had the means to fight it, they would do the same thing if it was being done to them. It's absurd at the point that they're taking it to. See, girl, Doreen and Randy assistant is Randy's assistant. As a matter of fact, Scent Patty, I think Doreen is his partner. I do believe. I do believe Doreen and Randy are partners. Hello, Venom. How you doing, girly girl? All right. All right, guys and gals. I think I'm going to send all you fine folks to the barn. I got chicken duty, and we can pick up the recap on this Monday. Yeah. Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot we went through today. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. You guys all know we're on Monday through Friday from 11 Eastern Standard Time to about 1 or so. I hope to see all you guys on Monday. I hope each and every one of you have a fabulous weekend. I know I'm going to try and have one. I think Mama said it's supposed to rain tomorrow. I hope it doesn't. But if it does, we'll figure out something. And with that being said, thank you all for the super chats and the memberships. It's greatly appreciated. And I will see you guys Monday.